And now it's time to meet the Surrey Scorchers. And they're led out by number 1, Martel McLemore. Number 5, Cam Niako. Number 10, Kaylin Raftopoulos. Number 41, Dre Rickman. Number 47, Alex Kukuravas. Number 51, Mayo Adieye. 77, Evan Walsh. And starting for the Scorchers, number 7, Connor Cashel. Number 8, welcome back to Guildford, Ryan Richards. Number 13, Lavelle Cook. Number 15, Captain Teo Ogunengbi. And number 99, Skylar White. That's your Surrey Scorchers this evening.
So that's both teams introduced here at Surrey Sports Park. No, great, along with John Hobbs. Good to see you back again, John.
Yeah, good to be back at Surrey Sports Park for a start of the BBL Championship, and what better way to start us off than the visit to the Leicester Riders.
Of course, new faces for both teams.
Absolutely. Well, for Surrey, Ryan Richards starting his 3rd spell with the Surrey Scorchers tonight. He'll be playing in number 8. He, of course, joins the Scorchers from Brussels in Belgium. And, of course, 2 debutants for the Leicester Riders tonight. Ali Fraser, who makes his debut for the Riders, former Glasgow Rocks forward. And, of course, Aaron Falzon, the Maltese international. He also debuts for the Riders. He'll be wearing number 14 tonight.
So we're just waiting to get our pictures taken by the legend that is Mansour Ahmed, the best photographer in the BBL. Absolute legend, 3 decades and counting.
Absolutely, great to see Mansour here tonight in Guildford. He's been here all day. Of course, he was snapping the WBBL clash earlier on between the Sevenoaks Suns and the Nottingham Wildcats, and he's stayed behind to watch this BBL Championship clash as well.
Yeah, and we'll get a shout out of the way early, so I don't think we'll get a chance really to do any, but we've got to say happy birthday to the legend that is Angus MacDonald.
Absolutely, you know, a Surrey Scorchers legend, a Guildford basketball legend, and a Thames Valley basketball legend, all rolled into one. Angus MacDonald, happy birthday, my friend.
So we're just over a minute away from the start of the championship season for both the Scorchers and the Riders. So teams are just going to their benches. John, before we get going on this game, did you enjoy this opening night of Sky?
It was fantastic. You know, brilliantly presented, flawless analysis and commentary, and 2 fantastic basketball games to whet the appetite for the 2-year deal that Sky have with the BBL. And you know, hopefully it'll entice more fans to watch the BBL and to come to the venues when fans are permitted, which hopefully won't be too much longer now.
Yes, they might well be in for the next game, but we can't confirm or deny that. We've got to wait and see what the Scorchers do in the next week.
And I think it's with all teams, it's not just with Surrey, but for most teams as well. You know, we do forget that there are different tiers in the country, so some parts are in tier 3 where obviously fans are not permitted. Some teams are in tier 2 where fans are permitted. Surrey are in tier 2, so hopefully soon they'll be allowed some fans. However, right now it is just a discussion between the teams and the league. That's not just the BBL, it's the NBL as well, and the WBBL and the WNBL. It's all across the country.
Yeah, so let's get the fans back at basketball.
I miss that. We need fans
to do so.
Here, don't we?
Oh, 100%, especially here at Surrey Sports Park, because you know, if it's a full house, 2/3 full, even
exactly,
half, when there's a good game on the line, this place is rocking.
Absolutely, no, definitely. One of the loudest venues in the BBL, Surrey Sports Park, and that all stems from the fantastic community that is the Surrey Scorchers supporters.
So we're waiting for their teams. We got Nelson Henry, Corey Johnson, Gino Crandall, Zach Jackson, and I'm just trying to see who's behind Keith Williams there, John. The court side were blocked out. Anyway, for the Scorchers, Skylar White, Lavelle Cook, Ryan Richards, who's debut, the captain Taya Ginembi, and Connor Cashaw. William Lee was the other player. So, Riders have the ball first. Deflected by Skylar White. Good defense from the Scorchers. Skylar White down to Cashaw. Tegan Denby has it. Richards wants it back. Going against Nelson Henry. Puts a shot up. Puts it down. First shot's good. Scorchers on the board, and it's Ryan Richards with the basket. Nelson Henry backing down Skylar White. Goes to the left hook. No good. Nelson Henry called for the foul, John?
Yep, it was, and good to see Ryan Richards not losing a step. Patented fadeaway jumper for Ryan Richards is good to go. First shot as a Surrey Scorcher player for the third time, and he connects. It's good to see the new kit as well for the Surrey Scorchers this season. Of course, they've...
Turnover. Sorry, carry on.
Sorry, yeah, they've continued to opt for this short-sleeved version, the controversial choice in some people's eyes.
Now, of course.
But of course, yeah, they're not the only team. So trendsetters in the BBL, the Surrey Scorchers.
Pass inside, stolen. Connor Cashaw has it. Good hands from Crandall. Ball into Teo. Turnover, Riders have it. So the scoreboard showing 0-0. It is 2-0 to the Scorchers.
Nice defensive play there from Ryan Richards, just tipping the ball out when Nelson Henry was just about to get the offensive board.
Skylar White shots wide. There's Richards. Offensive rebound. Apologies, just trying to get this scoreboard sorted. It is 2-0. Riders with the ball. Shot's good. Riders on the board.
Yeah, it's a two-pointer though. You stepped on the line, Zach Jackson, for that.
So, two apiece. Cross court. Cook has it. Inside Ryan Richards. He wasn't expecting it. Turnover. Here come the Riders. Crandall. Jackson is out of bounds. That's going to be a turnover.
Absolutely. I think Corey Johnson was in a good mind to actually take the jump shot there. He was wide open, but decided to pass it off. And a turnover
Jackson,
there.
I think Jackson had a foot in the line.
Yeah. With that earlier play with Lavelle Cook, you know, again, just take the jump shot. Don't need to pass it out. Ryan Richards wasn't expecting the pass. Turnover there, but a let-off for the Scorchers.
Cashaw to Cook. Richards got with Nelson Henry. He's dribble live, shoots a difficult shot, doesn't go. Here come the Riders the other way quickly. Nice pass inside to Nelson Henry for Corey Johnson.
Yeah, brilliant play at both ends from Nelson Henry. Great defense, turn to offense. And Nelson Henry can defend that perimeter, and he showed it against Richards there.
Richards, barrel-rated basket, called offensive foul.
Yeah, Keith Williams saw an elbow there as Richards was going to the hoop.
That's quite an easy call. So Ryan Richards takes a seat.
Yeah, two quick fouls for Ryan Richards.
And Amondre Rickman into the game for his first action.
In fact, excuse me, no, sorry, the scoreboard said 2 points there, but Richards is only on one foul.
One foul.
The scoreboard's obviously having some fun here tonight.
Crandall. cross-court pass. Jackson in the lane, pass off to Nelson Henry. Dalton goes reverse and scores.
That's beautifully done from Nelson Henry, really stamping his authority on the game. 4 quick points for him, 6 for the Riders. Meanwhile, Teo Ogundenbi gets the foul +1 as well.
So Teo Ogundenbi at the line. Do apologise, some little technical difficulty.
It's only so often we have new microphones, isn't it, Niall?
Doesn't go. So, Riders 6-4 up, Crandall. Shot goes, he makes it 9-4 with that 3-pointer.
Was just 1 for 6 against London, Crandall, so it's good to see him off the mark early.
Skylar White drives to the basket, shot does not go. The bounce was against him. Wow.
Big rebound.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jackson got up there, didn't he?
Absolutely big rebound there from Zach Jackson, and he'll go to the foul line. And as we see Martel McLemore coming into the game for Teo Ogundenbi.
First is good for Jackson.
And Evan Walsh now coming into the game, Niall, for Lovell Cook. Creamer of Topless getting the substitutes in very early on, as the majority of the bench are now on for the Scorchers.
Cashel still in the game, along with Skylar White. Ball into Rickman, guided by Ali Fraser, former Rocks player, signed to play in France, joined the Riders yesterday. Skylar White from the top, 3-2 strong. Cashel pokes it out.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Skylar White just couldn't get. His feet were on the...
yeah, they were on. It was agonisingly close. It was unfortunate, but you could see where Cashel was coming from, and I don't think Skylar White was quite communicating that with Cashel. That was just unfortunate.
Fraser, backing down Rickman, goes into the lane, shot off short. Oh, lovely rebound from Lee and a finish.
Absolutely, and the Leicester Riders, 34 second chance points in their last game against the London Lions, so they're very good at that aspect.
Skylar White, 3 does not go. There's McLemore. Can't get his first review when it goes. A foul called. It looks like it's going to be on Corey Johnson. More substitutions. Skylar White takes a seat. Teo Ogundenbi's back in. First is good for McLemore.
Of course, Martel McLemore, 8 points, 3 rebounds off the bench against the Worcester Wolves. Really hustled brilliantly, especially when he had that 3-point play in the second half of that game.
So, Riders with the ball and with a good lead as we approach the halfway mark of this opening quarter. Into Fraser. Travelling on Lee. Back to the Scorchers. See Connor Washington come into the game.
Yeah, of course, the Great Britain international just returned from France for his Eurobasket qualifiers. Such a luxury for Rob Paternostro to have that kind of firepower off the bench. And he utilises it very well as well.
He's a great player. It's good to see him back. So, Kane Raftopoulos in the game. To Macklemore. Trying to find an option. Gives it into Walsh. His shot goes up, fouled and one.
I'm not sure Evan Walsh actually realised where exactly he was when he was turning. He was looking to kick it out. Instead, gets the ball in.
So what do you think of Walsh, John?
Well, you know, a player that is his first season back in the UK. Came to Surrey having impressed Kriyan Raftopoulos with the Oakland's Wolves in the National Basketball League, especially in the L. Lynch Trophy, where he put up 30-odd points for them in the game against the Hemel Storm. That performance impressed him so much that he snapped him up from Oakland's tier to Surrey. And he's played so well off the bench as well at the start of the BBL Cup. And again, he's got the three-point play here tonight, and another turnover for the Leicester Riders.
So, Raftopoulos on the ball. Macklemore. On the drive, puts it up with the right hand, too strong. And the Riders collect, they come quickly the other way.
Yeah, good thought there from Macklemore, getting that floater up, but unfortunately nothing doing.
Washington. Cross-court pass, too strong. And the Riders turn it over again.
And with 3:51 remaining, even though the Riders lead 13-8, both teams really starting to get a bit scrappy at the moment. Just need to slow it down both sides and just get into some sort of rhythm.
Macklemore into Rickman, guided by Fraser. Backs his man down, he's to go for it. Goes up, no, he's called for travelling.
Yeah.
So, Washington, lovely shot from Connor Washington.
Yeah, curving round, getting that three ball up straight away. No hesitation from Connor Washington.
So, Washington now guarding Raftopoulos. Gives it to Teo. Ball switched round. Kalin has it. Into Evan Walsh, foul on the drive. He's going to line for two.
And I love how Evan Walsh is just driving, getting that aggression out early and really attacking the hoop and getting to the basket.
So he's rewarded 2 shots at the line. First is good. One more to come. Makes them both. Scorchers move on to 10 points. So, Crandall deflected by Macklemore. Oh, Walsh came flying in there, but it's going to be his last touch. Great defense, just could not get the ball.
Absolutely, and that's what we were saying earlier. Just Evan Walsh just really taking the game by the scruff of the neck, attacking at both ends of the court and really having that aggressive mindset early on.
8-second violation against the Riders. Another turnover for them.
So another turnover there for the Riders already as well, Niall. That's the 13th turnover of this game alone. So both teams really have to curb their turnovers down. I'm sure that'll be the message at the end of the quarter as the ball nearly goes right into our laps. We have a habit of doing that, don't we?
It's a dangerous position. And let's leave it there. Grandal guarded by Teo, hands it off to Washington. Oh, almost a steal by McLemore. He needs to get back into position. Riders have a man wide open.
And Jamal Anderson making no mistake about it, Niall, for three.
Open for three, takes it, makes it. It's a problem when you gamble, someone's going to end up being open. So Raftopoulos, Walsh inside to Teo. Turnaround, it's good.
That's beautifully done, silky smooth from Teo Ogun-Dengbi.
Shot too strong for the Riders. Oh, McLemore beats Cale into the ball.
I think he called it. It's fine, it's fine. Yeah.
Brickman, Walsh has it. Drives round. Offensive foul against Walsh.
It is against Walsh, yeah, just showing a bit too much of the body to Connor Washington, and Washington, a veteran player, just sells it well, and an offensive foul called.
And he gets the thumbs up from Coach Paternostro. Washington, shot wide, Teo collects. Final 100 seconds of this opening quarter. Evan Walsh into Ryan Richards, across to Teo. Walsh fakes a three, drives, it's deflected. Fraser to Washington, Washington all the way for the nice little scoop layup.
Yeah, good play there from the Leicester Riders, turning defence into offence very quickly.
McLemore, oh, trying to get past Johnson all the way, he's fouled. So Randall takes a seat. Back in comes Corey Johnson as McLemore goes to the line. Free throw's good. Can't get the second. Jamel Anderson, round to Washington. Johnson puts it up, bit of a circus shot, doesn't go. Battle for the ball. The Scorchers have it. Topless down the lane, outside, Teo open in the corner. Too strong. Scorchers collect, inside to Richards. There's a foul. Ali Fraser with a foul. So, Ryan Richards to the line. Can't get his first to go, one more for Ryan, his third spell at the club. He's made a couple of short stints with the team previously, but he's here for the season after starting the year in Brussels. So, one for Ryan. The Riders are up by 7 in the final 23 seconds of this opening quarter. There's about 4 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock. Johnson drives, doesn't go. Battle for the ball. Riders have it, put it up. No good, 3 seconds left. Washington needs to shoot. It's going to be an air ball at the end of the first quarter. And there we have it. The end of the first quarter, Surrey Scorchers 14, Leicester Riders 21. So both teams are back on the floor. And it's Corner Casual with the ball. Kaylin for three. Got it! Lee, inside to Nelson Henry. His shot goes eventually. Ryan Richards' shot no good. The Scorchers have it again. No luck second time. It's going to remain with the Scorchers. So Scorchers hoping it's third time lucky. Cross-court pass, Skylar White for three. Still no joy for Skylar.
Absolutely, but as the shot clock was winding down as well.
Riders can't reply with three other end. Anderson misses.
Both teams really struggling from the field here as we start the second quarter.
Skylar, long two. Can't get out to go, grabs his own miss. Cross-court pass to Cashel. Cashel corner to play, wants a screen. Decides to drive, pushes outside. Richards from the corner, in and out. And the Riders collect. Anderson's shot, no good. The Riders collect the miss though, and they've got another opportunity. Lavelle Cook grabs the miss. Long two, no good for Kaylin. Someone take the lids off these baskets. Good rebound from Jamel Anderson to give the Riders another opportunity. Finally, it's broken by Jackson.
I think that was William Lee.
William Lee, sorry, I do apologise.
15 points, 11 rebounds against the London Lions last time out.
We really need a more elevated position, don't we, John?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
That's our excuse and we're sticking to it. So 17-25, the Riders lead. But wholesale changes.
That's something that Kriyan Raftopoulos likes doing, likes rotating frequently, doesn't like any of his starters or any player really playing more than 30 minutes a game. Obviously, at some point, he has no choice but to do that.
He's got a deep enough squad to do it,
Exactly, yeah. He definitely has a deep enough squad this season to do that.
Teo. Gives to Cashaw. Mid-range two, scores, and one opportunity for Connor Cashaw.
William Lee just committing himself a little bit there as Cashaw was going for the jump shot.
And Cashaw was heading towards Dan, the sound man's table, and Dan did not flinch.
Man mountain, that is the music man. Of course, Connor Cashaw, 16 points in the first half last week against the Worcester Wolves, finished with 18. Shot the ball really well, actually, 6 for 10 from the field, but played all but about 1 minute and 40 seconds of that game as well. So it just shows his commitment, especially when the game's on the line.
So he completes the three-point play. Oh, nice fake and drive, the layup.
Beautifully done there from Zach Jackson.
Cashaw down the lane, passes off. Ball out of bounds. We can say Scorchers ball.
But after the very tough start in the second quarter, both teams now settling in and really taking the game to each other. It's a fast pace right now. You'd like to think that suits the Scorchers.
Cook with a fake, improves his position, shoots a long range two, gets it.
Yeah, had a poor first half last week against Worcester, did Lovell. Cook came alive in the second half. And he has his first two of the game here.
The Riders by 5. Jackson drives, is cut off by Cashaw, goes into the lane, turnaround, puts it up, puts it down.
Yeah, tough move there from Jackson. Really having a great second quarter, has 8 points now already. And Leicester have bumped their field goal percentage up as well. It's now at around 45% from the field.
Macklemore into the lane, fouled. That's just the second team foul on the Riders. It's William Lee that picks it up. Cashaw, turnaround, jump shot's good.
Yeah, smooth play from Connor Cashaw. Has 5 points now for the Scorchers. Beautiful move from Crandall.
Doesn't get the shot to go though. He's going to go to the line for 2.
Averaged 13 points, 4 assists in the Czech Republic last season, did Gino Crandall. He's played his college career out in North Dakota and then transferred over to Gonzaga. So prestigious basketball school in the NCAA, and what Rob Paternostro likes about Crandall is his high basketball IQ and his versatility at both ends of the floor.
One more to come. Riders can make this a 7-point game. He doesn't make it, but there's an offensive rebound. Anderson to the top to Crandall. Oh, nice fake, then the drive. And he's fouled again, going back to the line.
That's the 8th offensive rebound already from the Leicester Riders. And this was what we were talking about last week against Worcester, Niall, how Surrey have been giving up lots of offensive rebounds, especially against Worcester last week. They're doing it again tonight. That's the 8th offensive rebound. 16 in total.
Cook. Looking for options, finds Teo. Teo with a turnaround jumper. Doesn't get the bounce. Jacks inside, Nelson Henry goes up the right hand. Lovely little hook from Nelson Henry. And Creamov Toppers has seen enough and called timeout.
I like how Leicester got into their offensive set really quickly there, and Nelson Henry finished it off with that hook shot, and now the Riders lead by 7. They've had a comfortable lead for the majority of the game. Scorchers have challenged at periods of time, but the Riders are seemingly comfortable with that lead. It's actually now a 9-point lead. Sorry, check that.
So just looking ahead, tomorrow we have 4 more games in the BBL Championship. Plymouth Raiders are taking on Newcastle Eagles at 3 p.m. Sheffield Sharks are taking on the Scorchers. It's back-to-back for the Scorchers, John, at 3 p.m. And in the later games, we've got Cheshire Phoenix against Bristol Flyers. Of course, the Flyers will be smarting from that defeat last night to Manchester Giants. So they just couldn't put the ball in the basket in the 4th quarter. And the Giants came back to win despite not putting a 3-pointer in. I think I saw a stat from Dan Radich. It's about 8 years since a team's last gone for a game without making a 3-pointer. And then so the Giants are playing the Glasgow Rocks at 5 p.m. Of course, those teams already met twice in the BBL Cup group stages. And they meet for a 3rd time, so they know each other well now. And you can watch all 4 games as long as you're registered on the BBL Player. It's www.bblplayer.co.uk. Of course, going forward, BBL Player will be $4.99 for a single game, or you can sign up for £19.99 a month, which covers all the teams that are taking part in the BBL Player. Of course, Bristol Flyers have their own separate service, and Worcester Wolves will be streamed by YouTube, but the other 9 BBL teams all involved with BBL Player. So, back to the live action halfway through the 2nd quarter. A little bit of pressure from the Riders, but the Scorchers are into the front court. Cashaw goes baseline. Gets McLemore, sort of bobbles the ball. Can't really do anything with it. Drives up. Is he called for travelling?
Yeah, I think he just took an extra step there as he was going to the hoop, yeah.
So, Riders ball. Commanding lead at the moment. Nelson Henry. I've got to say it because Pablo at Plymouth is probably watching. There's a wedgie for him. Pablo likes to call them. Pablo Cheeks, Plymouth Raiders lead commentator, calls those a wedgie. So that's for you, Pablo. Hope Tom can cut that one out for you on social media. Good hands from Richards, but Nelson Henry collects. Oh, somehow got scrambled. Oh, lovely pass to Anderson.
Absolutely.
Almost a no-look there, wasn't it?
Yeah, got right in front of Lavelle Cook and created enough body room to get in for the 2.
So Cook on the far side, into Richards. And the Scorchers turn it over.
Absolutely, and you can just see Lavelle Cook just looking at Ryan Richards there. Ryan Richards protesting his, or leading his case to that, but another turnover from the Scorchers. That is their 12th turnover already in this half.
So, Crandall's, oh, good hands from Teo, just could not get two on it. Wasn't able to sell the fake that time, Crandall. Oh, puts the ball in. Nelson Henry reverse, doesn't go. There's Anderson, and the ball eventually goes in and down.
Yeah, just a smart basketball there from Jamal Anderson, getting that second chance point there.
So, Scorchers starting to fall behind. They're going to need to reply. Teo puts it up and in.
Yeah, beautiful move from Teo Ogundengbe there. Just saw a gap and took full advantage of it. And defensively, getting it done there. Surrey possession.
Chance for Surrey to cut the gap a little bit more.
Absolutely, very quietly, the Leicester Riders building a double-digit lead, but Surrey really need to mount a case for themselves here in the final 3 minutes of the half.
Macklemore, shot wide, long pass down the floor from Crandall. Anderson has it. At the basket, scores the easy layup.
Yeah, beautifully done from Jamal Anderson. Macklemore got a hand to it, but too strong was Jamal Anderson.
Yeah, and the other end, great defensive play to knock the ball out of bounds, because if Richards had got it, he was going to score.
Absolutely. And you could just sense as well, Leicester as a team really enjoying themselves out on the court. 2:38 remaining. They have that double-digit lead, both ends. It seems to be all going their way right now.
Macklemore. Trying to pass the ball.
Another turnover.
Went to Richards, but he turned it over. Here's Crandall, the other end. Off the glass. But Anderson, a throw down.
And this is what I'm talking about. They're just having fun on the court right now, Leicester. You can sense that. And offensively, off the backboard dunk as well.
Another turnover. Here comes Crandall, all the way to the hoop. Goes for the layup.
And a timeout call from Kriyan Raftopoulos. Surrey just a little discombobulated right now on offense. You know, and Leicester just getting out, breaking out in transition. Another turnover there from the Scorchers. That's I think their 14th turnover. They did so well last week to keep their turnovers down. Only 9 turnovers against the Worcester Wolves en route to their victory, compared to the 14 they had previously against Plymouth. But right now they've matched their turnover rate against Plymouth in that defeat already, and we've still got two quarters of basketball left.
Yeah, they're in an absolutely commanding position, the Riders, because it's been 26 games since the Scorchers, or even the franchise, because obviously we're going Scorchers, going back then through United, then back to the Heat. Last time, let's just say, a Surrey team at SSP beat the Riders, and that was the 11th of November 2012. So
yep.
26 games. So basically the Scorchers in that time are 0-25 with 1 tie, which was that playoff game that I did with Daniel Routledge.
I remember that game, yes. That was a thrilling contest with a buzzer beater to tie the game, if I remember.
Indeed it was.
I'll give you a bonus point if you remember the player.
Can't remember the life of me.
Dan Routledge will no doubt be furiously heading to Twitter right now.
I got a problem with headset. I just heard Dan Routledge furious, so I didn't hear the rest of it.
Dan Routledge is never furious.
Of course, you can join Dan next Friday when the BBL is on Sky again. It's going to be the London Lions versus the Plymouth Raiders, Friday 11th on Sky Sports. Join Dan Routledge in the team. Back to our game. Walsh. Off the ball, foul, and Teo says, me? What?
Well, I'm not going to lie, I didn't actually see exactly what happened there.
Yeah,
there was
I'm
a lot
afraid
of
we're
players
sort of
there.
blinded by the referee as well, because the referee's standing right in front of us. I didn't see it on the screen either. But it is a foul, and it's a Riders' ball.
And because of Matthew Bryan and Manning, we're going to stick to that story as well after last week.
Hey, that was you, nothing to do with me.
He mentioned you as well.
You didn't know your tag. Oh, great hands from Rickman. Raftopoulos has it. In the lane, is that travelling? Yes, turnover. So the turnover is continuing to haunt the Scorchers.
That's the 15th turnover now for the Scorchers. I think Korean Raftopoulos will be happy to see the half-time buzzer go off and then go to the locker room. Surrey, a very strong second-half team, so still all to play for as another foul is called. I think that's an offensive foul on Nelson Henry, if I'm not mistaken. In fact, no, sorry, it's on Zach Jackson.
That's his second. So, Scorchers ball. 68 seconds left in this opening half. Looking for options. Great defense in the Riders. Giving the Scorchers a lot of trouble. Teo puts it up. And Rickmansby foul. That'd be his third foul, I believe, if it's on.
I think it's actually on Nelson Henry, I think.
Oh,
it is, yeah. It's on
Nelson Henry.
Yeah.
It's just the way that Rickman was walking. Everyone started walking back, and Rickman was talking.
Yeah.
And so, Scorchers ball. 45 seconds left. You see Fraser come back in as Nelson Henry takes a seat. That's 2 fouls on Darian Nelson Henry. Long pass inside, just kept in the front court by Evan Walsh. Cashel into Rickman with Fraser on him. The ball back from Teganibi. Rickman goes, turns. Foul by Fraser.
You could just see Fraser's face as he turned and saw the referee call the foul on him. Really soft foul, he thought, but Rickman going to the line again for 2. Of course, a really tough battle last week for Dre Rickman against Matthew Bryan and Manning, but still managed to be 2 rebounds short of a double-double, 12 points, 8 rebounds. Led the Portuguese league last season in blocks, did Rickman, but hasn't shown that defensive prowess here tonight.
He makes the first, 1 more to come. So here come the Riders. They lead by 15.
Wide open, Falzon.
Falzon with the 3.
Of course, making his debut tonight, Aaron Falzon, the Maltese international, led his team to the FIBA Small Countries Championship gold medal in San Marino 2 years ago.
I'm going to say it, the Maltese Falzon. Crandall. Crandall? Cashel. And the ball goes back to the Riders. This is going to be a half that the Scorchers are going to want to forget quickly. Oh, lovely steal by Walsh. Couldn't get it to go.
I think Walsh had a bit more time on his hands than he realised. There was still some time on the clock when he got the ball. He could have gone straight for the layup there, but instead hurried his shot a little bit. And
probably didn't have time to look at the clock, really.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Well, maybe, yeah. No, that may be the case. But either way, a comfortable lead for the Leicester Riders going into the half. And for Coach Raftopoulos, he's got a lot to talk to his players about, keeping the turnovers down, making sure that Leicester don't get many second chance opportunities again. But for the Riders, Rob Paternostre will be very happy with his team's performance. Not so in the last few seconds, but will be happy nonetheless.
Yeah, Jamel Anderson's come off the bench and leads the Riders with 11 points tonight.
Yep.
Pretty good shooting stats, so we're just looking at them now.
Absolutely, shooting 5 for 6 from the field. But as a team, the Riders shooting over 50%, 19 for 37 from the field, shooting very well from the foul line as well. So they're having a very good half, but for the Scorchers, traditionally, they're a very good second half team, so it's still all to play for. Don't count the Surrey Scorchers out by any means.
So half-time, the Leicester Riders have a commanding 46-28 lead over the Surrey Scorchers. Great value, Rob Paternoster's side. You know, John, they're going to be up in the running for the title this year, once again.
Absolutely. You know, they're a fantastic team, coached by one of the best in the game. There's no doubt about it in Rob Paternostro. But, you know, Surrey do have their players as well. They've got a good squad. Ryan Richards will be staying for the season as well. So, you know, just a little bit of, you know, cohesion is needed, and the Scorchers will be up there come the end of the season, no doubt about it, in the playoff zone.
So very shortly we're going to hand you over for the half-time show, so don't go away. We're going to have Mickey Austin along with Trayvon Wright and Vince McCauley talking over the events of the first half. So let's hand over and we see you back second half.
Good evening and welcome to Surrey Sports Park for the Robinson Buckley half-time show here at the University of Surrey. In the first BBL Championship game of the season for these two sides, it's Riders who lead at half-time 46-28. I'm Mickey Austin and I am delighted to be joined by none other than five-time BBL champion and ex-Riders and Scorchers star Trayvon Wright and head coach and director of basketball for London Lions, Vince McCauley. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us so far this evening. And Vince, I'll come to you first, and very briefly before we get stuck into tonight's action. As a director, you'll know probably better than anybody how difficult it's been in COVID times to get something like this off of the ground. So just give us a little bit of insight as to what goes on behind the scenes to get to this point, to get players on the floor.
Well, I mean, first of all, tremendous for the fans to be able to see a game like this taking place right here at the Surrey Sports Park. And what they see here is the end product of a lot of hard work from a lot of people behind the scenes, a lot of volunteers, and not just about the game, because the game protocols are going to be in place for both teams, for the referees, but practice. You know, being able to practice every day, being able to get in here and be safe, not wanting to get any games cancelled and put on a show for the fans. So there's a lot of people putting a lot of hard work in terms of getting everybody safe, getting everybody clean and healthy.
And rightfully so. Trayvon, very, very quickly, before we touch on this evening's action, I know the fans will want to know, how are you doing? How is the knee? How is your injury?
I'm doing pretty well. I've been out for about a month and a half now. I'm walking without a brace. I can move my leg fine. It's just the strength part that has to get back together and balancing. So I'm doing well, and just coming here to Surrey Sports Park, actually doing all my physio work and rehab.
Just obviously a real shame to not be able to suit up and get out there, I'm sure. Okay, now let's digest that first half, because we know, going off of history, Riders have won the last 4 head-to-heads here. So Vince, how have you rated their first half performance?
Oh, it's tremendous, as you can see from the score. I mean, it's typical Riders basketball. It's, you know, cutthroat pressure up and down the floor, variations of defensive pressure, finding someone on the opposition, namely either Connor Casher or one of the point guards for Surrey, and putting a lot of pressure on them so they can reverse the ball and run some of their plays. So right now, it's a stifling exhibition from a very, very good Riders team.
Yet notoriously, we know that they're defensively very, very strong, aren't they? So what is it about them that does make them such a good defensive unit?
Well, it's total commitment to what the coach wants them to do. So whether it's full court pressure all the way up the floor, whether it's three-quarter pressure coming down here, but they're stuck to their man. They're all working for each other, supporting each other. If someone goes out to help, someone else helps the helper, and that's what we try and teach as coaches. But the Riders, you know, really show that to the best of its effect.
And Trayvon, who stood out for you offensively so far, and why?
Well, for the Riders, I mean, it's even across. It's not even across the board, but it's pretty selfless. Everybody's scoring the ball. It's been a lot of fast break points, so it's hard to exactly key in on one person. But they definitely established themselves inside right now with Nelson Henry. And as far as Surrey, they're still looking for that. That it factor, like as far as scoring right now. Everybody's kind of chipping in here and there, but haven't really established themselves on offense yet. But second half should bring something, hopefully.
Yeah, we was chatting, wasn't we, during that first half, and just watching it unfold and saying that so far Scorchers don't really seem to have that guy. You know, Connor Cashaw last time on this floor had 16 points this time in the first half. They don't seem to have that that established person so far, or is that due to the fact that riders have cancelled them out of the game?
Yeah, I mean, you have to give credit to the riders' defense. That's what's led that. But also maybe for the Scorchers, you've got Ryan Richards just coming in and trying to settle in and fit back in. He doesn't want to be the guy just doing that right off the bat. He wants to fit into what Coach Creon wants. Connor Cashow, missed a couple of games, or 1 or 2 games through injury, so he's trying to get that rhythm back. So at the moment, they're kind of playing without a rhythm, and unless they find that, it could be a long night.
Yeah, I mean, just a word quickly, Trayvon, on the new players, because both teams have added to their roster so far, haven't they? Ali Fraser for riders, as you mentioned, Ryan Richards coming in for the Scorchers. So how have you seen those guys go so far?
Ryan came in, started off with the made jump shot. He's playing hard. He's probably just trying to get rhythm, get chemistry with the team. Ali Fraser probably the same thing. He was he leading scorer last year in the league? Yeah, so he's going to contribute his points once he gets accustomed to everything Coach Rob's doing over there. And then Ryan was here for a bit last year too, so he's just getting accustomed back to what Creon expects and wants out of him. But I actually believe in the second half those two guys will probably step up and you'll see more buckets falling from them.
Yeah, and a word on Evan Walsh, because he may be a rookie by label, but he is playing with no fear at the moment, isn't he?
Well, we were both talking with Trayvon about him right there, how hard he plays, the way, his body movement, he almost stole the ball right at the end there. I'll give a shout out to Tring and all the guys in Tring, because Evans, grew up there as a young fella.
Just get that in there.
Yeah.
And it's so good to see, isn't it? And I guess he's one of those guys that has just got so much energy, hasn't he? And when there's no fans in the arena, you need that.
Yeah, you definitely need a person that can bring that energy off the bench or even start the game. He's just putting his body on the line, diving on the floor, going for loose balls, and right now Surrey needs that a lot right now.
I thought in the first quarter he brought that energy when they kind of made that little run, and then he probably sat for maybe a shade too long in the second quarter, and you can see him bristling here towards the end. He's right by us here, so hopefully they can find that rhythm and push the riders a little bit closer.
Yeah, and Leicester riders have been so loud, haven't they? I mean, we're sitting quite close to them, but they're up and about. Their bench are in and amongst it. Any little scrap that goes their way on the court, they let their team know about it, and I guess that's really important.
That's very, very important, because we talked again about how difficult it is and how different it is in a COVID environment. Normally you have your teammates right here and you're talking to them, but you can't, and there's no fans to pick you up, and this is a notoriously fan-heavy venue where the fans really get involved and help the Surrey Scorchers, so the riders are showing exactly how to get behind your team.
Yeah, well, I guess last time they played on this floor, Coach Creon made no secret of saying how unhappy he was with the performance. So what would you think he'll be saying to his charges during halftime?
Definitely something similar to that. The score, as you can see by the score, but it's more. I think it's more of he's going to get on about defensive stuff and taking care of the ball for sure, especially against the riders, because the pressure is going to be there the whole night. It's not going to let up, even if this game gets out of hand. It's still going to be there. But if they can control that pressure and then make a few buckets, I think they got a chance to come back in this game. So.
Definitely. Well, we're going to take a very, very short break now, so check back in with us after this.
It's a hard question. Just trying to get my parents out the house as quickly as I could because I wanted to meet my new flatmate.
Our biochemistry teacher made us do the Mexican wave.
Oh man, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. The moment I stepped out of the bus,
I remember myself looking at the stag and then looking at my dad saying, that's where I want to be.
I didn't realise I lived opposite the library because the uni is that big.
It's actually very, very green. I mean, coming from Dubai, there's a lot of sand everywhere. It was just a great atmosphere.
it was full of people.
Seeing all the Freshers Angels. My lecturer showed up, great guy.
She's doing entertainment and lecturing at the same time.
The amount of sports and facilities that they have.
And get involved in so many societies.
Pakistani society.
The Hispanic Society.
The colour run.
I played pool for about 9 hours.
Somali society, which is basically my culture.
The Surf Society.
My singing, that's something that I'm really, really passionate about.
It's like a lot of creativeness happening around the university.
Nurturing.
Vibrant.
Diverse.
It's because of the people I met.
Friendly.
Welcoming.
Inspiring.
If universities were people, Surrey would stand out, definitely. It'd be that kid wearing the weird socks or something.
Moments
That matter.
at the University of Surrey.
Sorry.
Surrey!
Surrey.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry! Come here.
Welcome back to your Robinson Buckley halftime show. Gentlemen, the players are back on the floor. We're in the red zone. It's very safe, COVID secure. And Vince, you have given countless amounts of halftime team talks in your time. If we could be a fly in the wall on the dressing room so far, what do you think is being said in both? First, let's start with Rob, because we know he's a little bit of a Marmite character. He can be very loud, can't he?
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I think Coach Rob will be very happy with what he's seen so far. He'll want more and more energy to make sure they don't let up. So I think these first 3 to 5 minutes is going to be key for him. And for Coach Creon, he's going to ask for a bit more poise. Take care of the ball. Don't lose it. Let's establish Ryan inside. Let's get ourselves some open shots outside.
And Trayvon, for the Scorchers, who needs to get going? You know, offensively, they're down. Who is it that they're going to look to in their second half to step up?
In the second half, I believe Lavelle Cook, he's going to be asked to make a few more buckets. All around the whole team, the three-pointers, they're going to need to sink a few to stay in it. Otherwise, they're going to need more solid play from Connor Cashaw, whether it's getting to the rim or distributing the ball. They're going to need more out of him. And then the bigs just rebounding and clean up the loose balls.
And we spoke about time being quite critical, didn't we, in terms of the next sort of 4 or 5, 6 minutes are going to be so key for the Scorchers to be able to pull this back.
Yeah, I would say 3 minutes. You know, if it goes past 3 and things are not looking the way Coach Creon wants it, he's going to make a change.
And where is this game going to be won and lost? Is it in that Scorchers being able to break the defensive line? Because they do seem really rigid, don't they?
It's definitely going to be one with alleviating that pressure that the Riders are bringing, and then getting these loose balls on defense and offensive rebounding, because those extra points really hurt you at the end of a game.
Yeah, those extra effort things, Vince, I'm sure, as you'll know as a coach, that literally frustrate the life out of you when you're on the sideline.
Well, you know, the thing is, as a coach, you're not supposed to coach energy and effort. The guys are supposed to bring it. Right, Trayvon?
You definitely know those times when you got to pull it out of somewhere. You don't know where, but you got to just pull it out.
Okay, I'm going to put you both on the spot now. I want score predictions for this second half. Vince, I'll come to you first. How is this game going to end up?
Well, it's been a tough first half for the Surrey Scorchers, leading by 18. I think the Riders going to push this out maybe a further 8 to 10 on top of that, I'm afraid.
Trayvon?
I'm hoping that Surrey can break this down within the next 10 minutes, score a quick 11 or 8 points to get back in the game, and then hopefully a 7-point win either side. I don't know which way.
Sitting firmly on the fence there. Okay, well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. One thing's for sure, we are in for an intriguing second half. Let's see how it plays out, and we'll hand back to your commentary team of Niall Gray and John Hobbs.
Welcome back to Surrey Sports Park. Myself, Niall Gray, and along with John Hobbs. Thank you to Mickey, Trayvon and Vince for their comments there at half-time. John, there's a lot to do for the Scorchers in the second half.
Absolutely, but they are a very strong second half team, as you know, we have seen over the years. You know, so this game is not over. They've been down by bigger deficits before. They're a team with a lot of heart, and you know, they will be give this up. For the Riders, just keep doing what you're doing. They're shooting 51% from the field, 31% from downtown, 4 of 13, shooting a definite better percentage than the Scorchers, 1 for 10 right now for the Scorchers from deep. You know, right now though, it's been sort of an isolation game in some aspects. Neither team breaking double digits for assists. Surrey only have 5 assists, Leicester have 9 themselves. So for that as well, maybe a bit more of a team effort from the Riders. That's what Rob Paternostre will be saying to his team, just play more as a team. But otherwise, Leicester definitely on top. Surrey with it all to do, but the game is not over yet.
I do apologise, you're hearing noise background, just a little audio problem inside the arena. There's not like a ship outside.
No,
and
thank goodness I didn't hear you as an echo either, Niall, as well. I can only just take so much of you in one night.
Last thing you want is me as an echo. Right, let's get back to the ball game with the Scorchers trail 28-46. They will have the ball to start us off in the third quarter. It's into Connor Cashaw. On the drive, goes off the glass and in. Nice soft layup there from Connor Cashaw.
That was just too easy for Connor Cashaw. It was almost like Leicester's defence just stood still when he drove to the hoop, and easy too for Connor.
Nice pass inside from Nelson Henry. Randall's shot doesn't go. Skylar White collects.
That's a good start for the Scorchers. Get a stop and a bucket.
Cashaw down the lane again, puts it up. No good this time. Riders quickly other way. Jackson. Stop and pop. And Richards collects the miss. Cook gives it up to Tegan Denby. Scorchers captain on the ball. On the drive. And they're going to call Nelson Henry for that foul.
I think they will be calling number 9. Yeah, I think that's on
9.
Corey Johnson. That's
Corey
his
Johnson,
second.
yeah.
And in fairness, that's a good veteran move from Teo Ogundenbe against Corey Johnson. Really intelligent basketball from the Surrey Scorchers captain.
Makes the first free throw. We talked about the Teo takeover last week, and then he did,
yeah.
didn't he? So let's talk about Teo takeover now.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Teo has 6 points now. In fact, now has 7 points, excuse me.
Makes them both.
And now leads the Scorchers with 8. This is a good start to the half, though, from the Scorchers. Just slowly get themselves back into the game.
You need a few more stops. They're down by 14. 4-0 run to start to the third quarter. Crandall down the lane, puts it up on the reverse, doesn't go, but he's going to the line for 2.
And that's what Rob Paternostro likes about Gino Crandall. Just driving to the hoop, exploiting the gaps in the defence there, getting to the hoop, knowing full well he's going to get contact because of his size, and now he's going to the foul line for 2.
Ryan Richards picking up his second foul. One more to come. Doesn't get the second. 15 the difference. Cook round to Cashaw. Oh, almost ran into Skylar White. Into Teo. Taking Denby on the drive. And he's fouled again.
And Teo, you talk about the Teo takeover from last week. He's just very slowly doing that again here, right now in the first 2 minutes, coming out with purpose. And this is what we were talking about. Just end the first half. Surrey might be down big, but they're a good second half team. And so far, very slowly, they're getting themselves back into their rhythm. And that will help them as the game goes on.
Too strong on the first free throw from Tegan Denby. Captain has one more. Which she makes. Back to 14. A bit of pressure from the Scorchers, but their riders into the front court. Jackson round to Johnson. Guarded well by Cook, has to give it up. Lee to Crandall, shot clock's down to 6. Outside, shots put up, shot goes down for William Lee.
That's beautifully done from Gino Crandall, just faking the defense there and lulling them around so William Lee could get open, and a 3-pointer easy for William Lee.
Skylar White, back his man down, goes up, rejected, good defense. Corey Johnson. Crandall, no look pass to Jackson. Three doesn't go for Corey Johnson. Of course, last season, Corey Johnson was making them from that spot where he just missed. he had one heck of a game. I think it was 9 3-pointers. The Riders won that game, as they have won 25 of the last 26. Scorchers can come back and get a win tonight. It would be a massive result for them. At the moment, they trail by 17.
Oh, they were down for the majority against Worcester last week. Why not this week?
Cashaw in the lane. Puts shot up, draws the foul. Oh, that was a... Even though he's not a veteran, that was a veteran move by Connor Cashaw.
Yeah, we were arguing about that last week with Cashaw. But again, that's a special move there that he's been doing, almost a trademark for this season for Connor Cashaw. Just getting his body in the way as he goes for that jump shot, like most veterans do. And this is the reason why he was going to the foul line a lot last week, and again here tonight.
Yeah, just 24, Connor Cashaw makes the first.
Plays much older though. But I hope he didn't hear that, or we won't hear that.
I'll get you out. I'll dig you out of the hole. Plays like a player in his prime. How about that?
Shall I just get my coat and leave?
No comment. Back to the game. Crandall. Anderson. Nelson Henry goes past Richards into the corner to Jackson. Cross-court pass. Anderson quickly into the corner. Shot no good. And Ryan Richards collects. Ryan from the top for three, no good. Corey Johnson collects. Jackson. Crandall, guided by Skylar White. Fancy dribble, beats his man to the hoop. Yeah, basket's good. Gino gets it to go, and he's going to the line for one.
Yeah, beautifully done. Skylar White just committing himself. There was a bit of a mismatch. Gino Crandall much quicker on that first step, gliding his way to the hoop and gets the three-point play opportunity. Skylar White, you can see, just visibly frustrated. That's his first foul of the game, and I think the referee just explained to him just carefully why he was called for that foul.
Free throw is good. So the lead has crept up to 18. A good start from the Scorchers has been eroded. Cook fouled on the floor. Be second on Gino Crandall.
It is, yep. But it's a, from a Surrey standpoint, a very good start to this third quarter. And to be honest, they haven't been terrible as the Riders have, put their points on the board. It's just a shame. Obviously, the first half performance was what it was, especially in that second quarter. But Surrey definitely, a bit more aggressive going to the bucket and getting their points easier than what they did in the second quarter as Lavelle Cook hits the first.
If Cook makes this one, the Scorchers will be in the same position they were at half-time, and of course 4 minutes have come off the clock in this third quarter. He does, so it's back to 16 points, which is the half-time deficit.
Surrey have been to the line now 20 times in this game, just compared to 9 from the Riders.
Yeah, fouls start to creep up, but they're well spread in the Riders. Jackson from the corner gets it to go.
Yeah, good footwork from Jackson, lulling Richards there and getting himself open for 3. Or 2 even.
Skylar White for 3. Got it! At last, Skylar White scores at home.
And that'll do his confidence the world of good, and hopefully we might be able to see more of them as the game goes.
And to say that three-pointer, Skylar White, is dedicated to Dan Rowledge.
Do we have to dedicate everything to Dan Rowledge?
Cook can't get his shot to go. It's out of bounds. Last touch, Riders.
I like how you stayed silent for that, by the way. That was very suave, very smooth. Yeah, all right then.
I don't think my microphone's working. So Scorchers down by 15. They have the ball. Connor Washington comes in. Corey Johnson takes a seat. Turnover. Anderson steals the ball. Here comes Washington. Open man's Crandall from the wing. No good.
Yeah, Teo got away with that one there.
Skylar Cashaw. Teo's wide open from the wing. 3 for Teo Gannembi.
Yeah, beautifully done from the Scorchers. Teo just atoning for his miss from his turnover from earlier with that 3.
It's 12 points. Washington.
Again, the footwork.
Another 3 for Jackson.
Yeah, footwork again, just that jab step, lulling the defender away and then pulling up the 3.
Wyatt is now 6 of 19 from beyond the arc. Cook, his shot doesn't go. Jackson has it right, it's quickly on the way. Washington straight away for 3, got it.
Oh, now you could sense Leicester now just getting into their rhythm from downtown. 32% they're shooting from beyond the arc.
That's going to be the 3rd foul on Ginny Crandall. We're going to see Ali Fraser come back into the game as Nelson Henry takes his seats.
Just see.
Apologies, no, sorry, that wasn't. Oh, was it? Sorry, I didn't. The scoreboard changed. I didn't see if that was the 3rd foul on Crandall. It is, yes. Teo makes the first free throw.
And for the Scorchers, they've had no trouble getting to the foul line here tonight. This is their 21st attempt. They're 81% from the charity stripe. Get your points as much as you can. Take advantage of your good free throw shooting, and hopefully the game will just get closer and closer as the game goes on.
So Teo takes his seat as Martell McLemore comes back into the game. Johnson, Jackson, back to Johnson, back to Jackson.
Like the double team there briefly. From
Step back 3, too strong, Cashaw collects. Walsh fakes a 3. Gives it up. Richards wants it, gets it. He'll take on Ali Fraser. Loses the ball, and the Riders come away. Cross-court pass. Washington has it. Screen set by Fraser. Washington for 3. Skylar White collects the miss. Under 3 minutes to go in this 3rd quarter. Martell McLemore into the corner. Shot clock's running down. Walsh has it. Puts up the shot. In and out. Oh, lovely. Martell McLemore collected the miss and scores the reverse layup.
Just beats Corey Johnson to the punch, and an easy layup for Martell McLemore.
47-61. Shot from the wing. Too strong. Skylar White collects the miss. Here come the Scorchers again with Cashaw. Richards. Ooh. Fraser. So we saw a little.
There was
maybe
a bit of silence there, wasn't there, from us?
So
that's 4 on Fraser
and 3 on Richards.
Yep. So a double foul was called. I think the foul was first on Ali Fraser, as Richards was backing him down, and then Richards flung an arm. and that's where Keith Williams blew the whistle also on Ryan Richards.
So Ryan Richards takes a seat.
And I think Nelson Henry will, surely he will,
Yeah,
will come back in. And Ali Fraser will take a seat.
Scoreless on his return to the BBL. It's a former Glasgow Rocks forward.
Of course, just getting himself adjusted to the Leicester Riders system. It's a very different one to the Glasgow Rocks, where he was the focal point of the team.
Because he had a winning basket here a few years ago for the Rocks.
Absolutely, yeah.
Raftopoulos on the drive. He's fouled. 3 seconds on the shot clock. 2 to come.
Absolutely, and Kenan Raftopoulos, another player that we'd like to see a bit more of, especially in this game. Only managed 6 minutes against the Worcester Wolves last week. Of course, committing his future to the Surrey Scorchers this season. He'll be the head coach of their academy squad, playing in the Academy Basketball League when that gets up and running.
Misses the first, 1 more to come. Misses them both, so he remains scoreless. 14 difference, 1:47 to go in this third quarter. Washington gets the screen. Nelson Henry's called for offensive foul. He's moving on that screen job.
Yeah, absolutely, was moving on that screen. Good call from the official. Just a minor correction, Kalen does have 3 points already in this game.
I apologise, I was looking at the foul cat.
You collar me all the time.
Such fun with this tonight. We've had such fun.
You've collared me with mistakes before. I was going to get you one time.
Raftopoulos. Shot doesn't go. Oh, great defence from Connor Cashaw. But the Riders come away with the ball eventually. Anderson to Nelson Henry's got Rickman on him.
Yeah, that's beautifully done.
He's able to score easy enough.
And that all stemmed from Corey Johnson getting his body, putting his body on the line, getting on the floor, getting that loose ball and turning it into offense.
Shot from the corner, it's good for Martel McLemore. Final minute of this third quarter. Stolen by Cashaw to McLemore. Martel shot too strong and Nelson Henry collects.
Yeah, just couldn't pick up the ball as he was receiving the pass there from Cashaw. Martel McLemore just dropped out of his hands and was a bit all over the place when he went up for the layup. He knows it as well. You can see the frustration on his face.
Fouls on the Scorchers, but it's just the first on Cashaw, but they're not in the penalty, so that'll be an inbound situation for the Riders.
But Niall, with 47.5 seconds remaining, this has actually been a good quarter for the Scorchers. They've put the lead, they've narrowed the lead a little bit. They've gotten some good stops. That will bring up a good fourth quarter if they continue the way they are. They just need to get a few more stops.
Nelson Henry. Right hand hook does not go. McLemore collects. So coming up on the final 10 seconds this third quarter. And that's a shot clock violation on the Scorchers. 1.4 seconds left. Just couldn't get anything to go.
Absolutely, yeah, good defense from the Riders, but I feel that the Scorchers could have been a bit more aggressive, especially in the final 5 seconds of that shot clock. They just seemed to dilly-dally a little bit, and it allowed Leicester to get their stop.
Shots way right at the end of the third quarter. 10 minutes remain. The Surrey Scorchers trail the Leicester Riders 63-50. Don't go away.
Once you see what's possible, you can really go far as your determination takes you.
From master students to PhD students, you get an opportunity to work together.
If you have a vision, you can create a postgrad that works for you.
I'm supported and encouraged to learn how I want.
The industrial research that our 5G Innovation Center is doing attracted me to come to Surrey University.
The lecturers have incredible industry connections, and it's their insight that's helped me prepare for a future beyond a postgraduate degree.
The facilities open me up to social groups outside of studies.
The supportiveness of the lecturers.
Opportunity to be involved in many different things.
I wanted to enrich my knowledge and further my experience.
We come from all kinds of backgrounds, and yet we have this in common.
Welcome back to Surrey Sports Park, where the Surrey Scorchers trail the Leicester Riders 50-63, heading into the final 10 minutes of this opening BBL Championship clash for both teams. Nargray along with John Hobbs. So the Scorchers actually won that quarter, but only by 3, John. So still got a lot to do in this final 10 minutes.
But as said, just before the quarter ended, I thought that was a very good quarter for the Surrey Scorchers. Even though they only won it by a slim margin, they were performing much better. And in the fourth quarter, they're again, I know it sounds like a bit of a broken record, but they're a very good second half team. And in the fourth quarter, they took the lead for the first time against the Worcester Wolves last week, having been behind all game. And they will look to hopefully come out and really attack the Riders like they did in the first 2 minutes of that third quarter.
So both teams heading back to the floor. Nelson Henry, Falzone, Johnson, Washington and Anderson for the visiting Riders. McLemore, Cashaw, Walsh, Raftopoulos and Rickman for the Surrey Scorchers. So it's into Connor Washington. Washington into Nelson Henry, hands off, shot from the wing, too strong. Falzone collects, is rejected by Rickman. Walsh collects the loose ball. He's on the run to McLemore. McLemore charges toward the basket, pass outside. Walsh thought about it, drives towards the basket, puts up a tough shot, gets it to go off the glass.
Had an easy shot from the baseline, decided to go the hard way, but Evan Walsh makes it count. Great play from Rickman before that as well. That's what Korean Raftopoulos brought into Surrey for. Defence, getting that block and turning it into offence.
So Nelson Henry backing down Rickman, goes through the middle, and they're going to call the basket. Keith Williams says basket is good.
You'd see Martel McLemore wanted the travel called there, but nothing doing. Nelson Henry moves on to 12, chance for 13 points.
Because he came in last season after Mo Williams got injured.
Yep.
And as he came back this year, was a great addition to the team.
Absolutely, we had a great season in Austria a season ago, playing for the Kapfenberg Bulls, averaged a double-double of 19 points, 11 rebounds. A 6'11" forward, is a walking double-double, and 13 points already today.
So, difference is 14. Scorchers on the ball. Falls inside, Rickman gets it to go.
Rickman likes getting the ball from the baseline just under the basket. He had that thumping dunk last week against Worcester from that exact same play. And he connects again, not a dunk, but still a basket.
Washington into the lane, to the hoop, high off the glass, doesn't go. Here comes Cashaw. Raftopoulos, open man's McLemore from the wing, too strong. Oh, lovely offensive rebound from Wolf. Raftopoulos puts it up, gets it to go.
That'll do his confidence the world of good. Kalen Raftopoulos from downtown, but before that, great play from Rickman to get Connor Washington to struggle to get that layup. Connor Washington driving to the hoop, had to adjust as he was going for the layup because Rickman was nearby, and that obviously got to the miss and led to a Surrey offense. And then great offensive rebound from Evan Walsh to find Kalen Raftopoulos for the open three.
So the Scorchers have made it a single-digit game, so do not go away. Interesting to see how the Riders respond. we can't hear Rob Paternostro, but we're sure he's talking at a volume.
Absolutely. Well, you know, we were talking about it, how Surrey are a good second half team, and this is what they're doing right now. So resilient. They cut it down to a single-digit game. Leicester, they haven't really played to their strength like they did in the first 3 quarters. They've kind of almost let Surrey get back into it. Very slack defence. That's something that Rob Paternostro will no doubt be telling his team right now in a typical Rob Paternostro way.
Yeah, 13 trophies, 5 times Coach of the Year. He'll know what to say to his troops. They come back out on the floor.
Absolutely, such an incredible player when he was on the court, you know, for numerous teams. Made the quick transition to head coach, and he has been an absolute, you know, amazing servant to the Leicester Riders organisation. Definitely one of the top coaches in the BBL.
Oh, for sure. And we're back underway with Washington on the ball. Crandall from the free throw line. Bounces around, no good. Evan Walsh for another rebound. Quickly on the floor. And the foul's called on the drive.
I like.
Is that going to be a technical on Crandall for?
It is, yeah. And that's a 4th foul on Crandall as well.
Yeah, but who's the foul on? He's done. Crandall's done for the game.
Oh, wow.
That was his foul. So he sarcastically clapped. The referee said, I'm not having that, I'm giving you technical.
Well, from where I was, I think it was a bit easier for you where I was. I wasn't exactly sure if that foul was on Crandall, but again, sarcastically clapping. Rob Paternostro telling Crandall to get off the floor now.
Yep, he's still on the floor. Camera's just hand off. He's not happy, takes a seat. So, Casher will go to the line for the technical.
But I like how Surrey have attacked this 4th quarter. They might have been down double digits. They've now obviously brought it to a single-digit game. But with that last offense with Evan Walsh just attacking the basket really quickly without any fear going through anyone and anything. And they're getting into their offense quickly, and that's really unsettling the Riders.
Casher, stop and pop. Shot no good. Lee collects. The Crandall's night is done, but the Leicester Riders have so many weapons on this roster. Someone else is bound to step up.
It's a luxury when you have Crandall off the floor and Connor Washington still on there for the Riders, isn't it?
Absolutely great player, Connor. Shoots from just beyond the free throw line, makes it.
And that's what he does. Over Kalen Raftopoulos, that jumper goes.
And he makes it a double-digit game again. 58-68, the Riders lead.
Wide open, Evan Walsh there, decided not to go for the 3.
Fakes, long 2. Comes up short, Lee collects. Here comes Washington. Jackson finds some space, long 2, too strong. Great rebound from Lee, and he's fouled.
It was almost too easy, though, that offense from the Riders. You could see that Connor Washington had a bit of extra space to get that extra pass off. And again there with Jackson, just easily going over the other side of the screen and then pulling up for 2. It was almost too easy as he goes to the line for 2 shots. Or excuse me, for Lee for 2 shots.
First one's good, so Scorchers got it back to single digits, but the Riders are just starting.
Absolutely.
Pull away.
Yeah, and William Lee, of course, a former NBA G League player, played in Iowa. And Lee, all-time leader in blocks for the University of Alabama.
Rickman outside. It's in the hands of McLemore. Little spin into lane. Runner goes.
And that's something that Martel McLemore likes doing, the spin and then almost like a hovering jump shot. We saw that so many times when he played for the Thames Valley Cavaliers in his 4 seasons there, and he's brought that arsenal to Surrey.
Scorchers are keeping the riders around the outside. Shot clock's running down. Anderson needs to do something. Goes towards hoop, gets it to go. Tough move, but pays off for Jamil Anderson.
Evan Walsh couldn't have done anything more there than what he already did. That's just brilliant play from Jamal Anderson.
Cashaw, pass too strong, but there's Cook. Needs help, finds Walsh, gets it back.
You could just sense that was just a bit of a clumsy offense there from the Scorchers. However, they still have another chance to rectify it.
Yeah.
I was just trying to
bailed
work
out by the foul Jackson.
Absolutely, yeah. I was just trying to work out what the referee was doing there, because he didn't even look sure as to what the foul was going to be for a second there before calling it on the riders.
So this is going to wait for the floor to be dried, which will give us a perfect opportunity. I think we did it already, but we'll just do it again to wish Angus MacDonald a very happy birthday.
Absolutely. Well, to me personally, I don't think we can wish him a happy birthday enough times. What a servant for basketball, not just in Guildford, but before Guildford in Thames Valley. He's been involved with basketball for so many years. Spanning I think 3 or 4 decades nearly, and a fantastic human being as well. Always has time for anyone he meets, and we do miss Angus, and we hope he comes back soon when obviously the fans and everyone else are allowed back in.
Can't wait to see again. Macklemore to the basket, rejected. Good defense from the Riders.
As said, William Lee, all-time leader in blocks at the University of Alabama, and that's why. Great defense from William Lee getting that block.
Stolen by Teo. Teo with a reverse throwdown.
It's almost inevitable whenever Teo Okindembe is on his own in transition, he's going to reverse dunk that, and he did again. He's got to show something different in his arsenal when that happens again.
Nelson Henry to the hoop off the great work from Connor Washington.
Yeah, beautifully done from Connor Washington, and Nelson Henry with probably the easiest 2 he'll have all night.
Rickman shot too strong, but there's Macklemore with a putback.
And he did that last week, that resulted in a 3-point play opportunity, but Macklemore in the right place, right time, tips it in for 2.
Four and a half to go. Jackson gets past one man into the lane. Soft bounce, and it goes in.
But you could sense now that both teams are just trading buckets, and if that keeps happening, it favours the Leicester Riders, of course. They're up by 11.
Yeah, they're going to need some stops if they want to come back into the game. At the moment, their offensive end. Cook, the turnaround comes up short. Macklemore's fighting for it.
And even though
that last out of bounds, but that's great effort.
Absolutely, you hit the nail on the head. Even though it's a Riders' possession, Raftopoulos will love that kind of hustle from Martel Macklemore, and that's something that he's brought into Surrey for. Get that hustle play off the bench and provide second chance opportunities, and of course get points on the board.
Over 90 seconds since the Scorchers last troubled the scorers.
Doesn't feel like 90 seconds, though, does it?
Washington, round to Jackson, guarded by Cashel, into Anderson, right hand goes, and one opportunity, Jamil Anderson celebrating with his teammates on the bench.
Absolutely, great play from Jamal Anderson on the cut there, and Skylar White, unfortunately his body was just in the way, he couldn't get out of the way quick enough, and another foul on Skylar White. That's his 2nd foul of the day. Thing is with Skylar White though, he looks a little frustrated, but to be honest, I actually think he's had a decent game tonight. Okay, offensively, he's only scored 3 points, but defensively, he's produced a number of stops that have led to baskets from the Scorchers and great offensive opportunities. There was nothing he could have done on that foul. It was just a bit too quick for him. As a backcourt violation has been called there.
So it goes back to the Riders. 3.5 minutes to go. It's 14 points. I think that's where we were at the end of the third. So if the Scorchers come back and win this one, they've got a lot of work to do. But as it is, the Riders look good. Just got out of the way there. Good defence from Teo to knock the ball out of bounds, but it remains the Riders at 9 seconds on the clock.
You've got some seriously good reflexes, you have, Niall. That was well played. Way to get out the way of that. Way to get out the way.
Shot too strong. Jackson collects the miss. They can say that Walsh fouled. I thought he got a block, but the referee says foul, so that's the foul.
Absolutely. I think what the referees were saying was he went over the shoulder of, I think it was Zach Jackson, over the shoulder.
Just explaining now,
yeah. It was a good block from Evan Walsh, and he's protesting his innocence, but I think what the referee was saying was he went over the shoulder of Jackson, and that's why it was a foul.
First one too strong.
You could hear Zach Jackson as soon as he released that. He
knew it wasn't good.
Yeah, he knew instantly that was off. He even said it under his breath that could be heard by everyone. Of course, we're behind closed doors right now.
So, no good at the line. It remains 14. Cook for the long two, gets it to go.
Brilliantly played by Skylar White, getting that screen, getting his body in the way so Lavelle Cook could have an open jumper. Beautiful basketball from the Scorchers.
3 minutes remaining. Nelson Henry gets a double team, fights through it, jump ball situation.
Well played from both Skylar White and
that'll
Teo
go back to the
Ogundengi.
Scorchers. Sorry, John.
Absolutely, yeah. Great defence from both Skylar White and Teo Ogundengi.
Gave Nelson Henry nowhere to go, didn't he?
Exactly, yeah. Getting that double team in left Nelson Henry with no chance to get anywhere. And the jump ball, and it's a possession for Scorchers.
Cashel, where the quick shot doesn't go, Nelson Henry collects.
And you can sense that Connor Cashore is just getting a little bit dry from the field. Another miss for him.
Washington guided by Walsh. Next foul will put Riders at the line. Inside Nelson Henry, rejected by Lavelle Cook. He said, no way.
The smaller Lavelle Cook blocking the near 7-foot Nelson Henry.
The other end, his shot doesn't go as he's denied.
I think that was either William Lee or Jamal Anderson with the block there. Still a Scorchers ball though.
15 the shot clock, but time is against them. Down by 12, 2:15 to go. It's into Teo Ogundengi. Teo on the drive, he's fouled. Veteran move from Teo Ogundengi, driving the lane, draws a foul, going to the line, and the clock is stopped.
Absolutely, 16 points for the Surrey Scorchers, captain tonight. Along with Jamal Anderson leading all scorers. Great to see two veteran British players leading the way for their respective teams tonight. Both Teo Ogundengi and Jamal Anderson on 16 points, and that's 4 fouls on Zach Jackson as well.
It is strange when there's no fans trying to put a free throw shooter off, isn't it?
I don't think the Surrey Scorcher fans would be putting Teo off, though, to be honest. So
oh, there would be a Riders fan sitting over there with a bell or something.
It'll be a very long day before we have the drummer girl in the corner trying to put off Teo from the foul line. But anyway.
I don't think she's a Riders fan.
Neither do I, no.
1 out of 2 for Teo. Scorchers down by 11. Coming up on 2 minutes. Riders happy to eat a bit of shot clock.
Absolutely. Time is on the Leicester Riders' side right now. That's another foul, I think, on Skylar White.
And that's going to be free throws. The Scorchers are in the penalty.
That's another soft foul, though, for the Scorchers. As Connor Washington was coming towards the, going along the perimeter, Skylar White just gets a hand in and just clips Connor Washington, and the referee instantly calling a foul.
So Connor to the line for 2.
Of course, Connor Washington returning to the Leicester Riders team following his international duty with Great Britain. Of course, they were in France last week.
Dave Elashani, what a performance in that second game.
Absolutely, yeah. Kind of struggled though in his game, in the game against the London Lions. You know, only had 3 points, 1 for 5 shooting. But, you know, everyone is entitled to just a low game every now and then. And Connor Washington, one of the mainstays in this Leicester Riders team, 9 pieces of silverware he has won in his time with the Riders. And of course, plying his trade from the Milton Keynes Academy, went to Moulton College, was a GB under-20 international, and has just gradually gotten better and better as the years have gone on, and one of the top point guards, or one of the top combo guards in the British Basketball League.
Combo guard,
yeah,
definitely.
Absolutely, yeah,
I was just trying to remember back, if you remember the days of BBL TV,
Yep.
I think it was Cheshire Phoenix, and Gareth Murray had put the Phoenix ahead. I'm sure it's Gareth Murray right at the very end, and then it goes down the other end, up pops Connor Washington to win the game. That was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But one of the biggest moments for him, just who steps up to win the game? Connor Washington.
Absolutely, yeah. And you know, being truthful, it kind of escapes me which BBL playoff final it was. Leicester have been in so many. But I think it was against the Newcastle Eagles in, I think it was 2016 or 2017, one of the two, when he just exploded from downtown. I think that was the game when Trayvon Wright was won MVP, I think, as well. And of course, Trayvon Wright with us here tonight,
Would that
part
be
of the
trophy final? No, would that be?
No, that was the playoff final.
Playoff final.
It was the playoff final, yeah.
Connor Washington, great player. Glad to see him back in the BBL.
Absolutely, yeah. No, absolutely. Of course, has played across Europe as well.
Back to the action. It's Cashaw. Outside, Skylar White for 3. Got it!
That's his second three. Absolutely, as you said, Niall, second 3 of the night for Skylar White. The more he gets of those.
10 points, coming up on 90 seconds to go in this one. Lee's double team gets away to Nelson Henry. Little look at the shot clock from Connor Washington.
It's so key now for the Riders to just drain that shot clock.
Lovely move. Can't get the shot to go, but there's Lee with a clean-up.
It's so vital for the Riders to just eat a bit of that shot clock up, and Lee with the second chance points.
Skylar White, too strong. Nelson Henry collects.
It's a good kick out though to Skylar White. Unfortunate with that 3-point attempt. Still a lot of basketball to be played.
Double team, lost out of bounds, but they say Scorchers' last ball remains with the Riders. 1 minute exactly.
And you sense now if the Riders can just hold it for this last possession, maybe get a bucket, that could be game, set and match as Martel McLemore comes in for Connor Cashaw, just to heighten up the Scorchers, especially against the Riders who are currently on the bigs that are currently on the floor. And the shot clock down to 6 as well.
Washington needs to put it up. Rejected by Skylar White. Teo has it. Good defense from Skylar. Gets it out to Evan Walsh. The pass off. Cook the easy score. White is a leg not to foul, didn't they?
Absolutely. What a pass from Evan Walsh. Wasn't even looking and just found Lovell Cook. That's unfortunate. Found Lovell Cook, excuse me. Yeah, it was a good play from Evan Walsh, and unfortunate there to get the foul.
Yep. Stops the clock, sends the Riders to the line.
Of course, Connor Washington, a very good foul shooter.
So, Connor Washington to the line. Sinks the first. Riders closing in on the win.
A solid game for Connor Washington tonight. Has 14 points. Bumped by Evan Walsh, but no foul there called.
Riders ball.
You sense that's game, set and match really now as the Riders just slow the clock down, and I think you can sense now the Scorchers, even though they're trying to get the steal, and they do.
They do. McLemore Oh, just forced wide from basket. His shot doesn't go. Last touch, Jackson, Scorchers ball.
Absolutely, but the shot clock is off now. It's a double-digit lead for the Leicester Riders, 12.9 seconds left. You can comfortably say that's job done, but a good showing from the Scorchers, even in defeat. A second half, very good second half performance. It was just unfortunate that there was a second quarter that they just struggled with.
Skylar White, shot too strong. Nelson Henry collects, and that will do it. Connor Washington just lets the clock run out, and the Leicester Riders have themselves an 84-72 victory in the opening game of the season. So the Scorchers, 27 games without a win. Only have that tie back in the 2016-17 season when Gabe McRae hit that buzzer beater to tie the game in the first leg of the playoff quarter-final. But good all-round performance, as we expected from the Leicester Riders.
Absolutely, and well done for actually remembering the name. I know you were struggling. I was not going to tell you it, but I knew you knew.
Dan Ratlish tweeted me and said you can't. He said
you cheated.
He said you no. He said you can remember. He said you can remember Connor Washington hitting that shot, but you can't remember who scored the shot. So I had to go through a load of players. And
okay.
Gabe McRae.
But either way, a solid performance from the Leicester Riders tonight. It was a strong first half showing. Surrey, no shame in defeat though. They had a very good second half. They're a good second half team. We've said it over and over again tonight. They did it again tonight. They won both the third and the fourth quarter. However, it was their first half, especially the second quarter, where they just really fell apart. Played a lot of isolated basketball. Shots weren't dropping. Leicester, you could sense, were just having a lot of fun out on the field. And that was the catalyst for tonight's win, no doubt about it. But a good second half showing from the Surrey Scorchers. But as Crean said last week against Worcester, there's still a lot of work to do, and there's no doubt that is still going to be the case going into this week at practice and leading into future BBL fixtures.
Yeah, and they started slowly at home in each of the games. Yeah. It's been that slow start, come good. So obviously Crean's going to be working on trying to get the team off to fast starts.
Absolutely. Just do what you did, especially in the third quarter. Just attack the basket and just make sure you just play with that same intensity.
Right, so what we're going to do in just a moment is we're going to take you for interviews. We're going to have Crean Ruftopoulos will come up first, the Surrey Scorchers coach, to talk about tonight's game. So, on behalf of myself and John Hobbs, we hope you enjoyed the commentary, and now what we're going to do is pass you over to Mickey Austin, Vince McCauley and Trayvon Wright, who are with Scorchers coach Crean Ruftopoulos.
It's full time here at Surrey Sports Park, and it's Leicester Riders who take their first win of the BBL Championship, 72-84. I'm here with Coach Crean. First and foremost, a good fight back, but just not enough to come away with that win. A frustrating evening, maybe?
Super frustrating. I haven't yet seen the turnover column, but I know we turned over the ball too easily the entire game. That's been the story of the few games we played this season. Put yourself in a hole, and then you're going to struggle. I think Leicester are one of those teams, Leicester, Lions, Newcastle, Plymouth, they're going to be up there. So you got to bring your A game. So the fight back is satisfying, but just overall performance was just all over the place.
We spoke before the game, didn't we, about this potentially being a good marker just to see where you're at. This early on, the league isn't going to be decided off of this one performance. And as you say, Leicester are a decent team, are probably going to be up there come the end of the season. So anything that you're coming away from today quite pleased with or happy with at this stage right now?
I'm happy that we showed some character and fight. I think that's one of the most important things a coach can ask for. If we never had that desire to fight back, and if we had to quit, then it'd be a big problem. But we showed enough for me to believe that we can get better and we can get stronger. And I got to remind myself it is a very good Leicester team we played against.
And a really quick turnaround for you guys. You're going up to Sheffield tomorrow. So what's the focus ahead of that matchup so quickly?
Just thinking about my bacon and egg roll in the morning for now, but quick turnaround. Probably just going to be watching film, trying to finish off the scouting report, and then obviously do the scouting report on the bus ride going down, and then start to focus on that. That's the how tough the BBL is. You get back-to-backs. Sometimes you don't get a day to rest or prepare, and it's like that for everybody. So we can't complain. We just have to get there and try and make us get to one-on-one in the championship.
Absolutely. Well done tonight, Coach, and go well tomorrow. Thank you so much for your time. We're going to be joined by Rob now. Rob, thank you so much for giving up a little bit of your time. Congratulations on this evening's performance. You're an animated person, I think it's fair to say, and you guys no doubt are a really strong defensive team, but got into a little bit of foul trouble, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, I mean, just averaging 13 fouls a game. Tonight was 26. So, you know, that's going to be tough for us. I just thought the game was hurt a little bit by the flow. No flow to the game. It was a real tough game to watch if you were a neutral, because a lot of stop and starts. But it is what it is. I'm proud of the guys for finding a way to win. We had a big first half and held on in the second half.
Absolutely. And coming into this game, was there anyone on the Scorchers side that you specifically targeted offensively that you wanted to stop and that you were successful with?
I just thought we were concerned a little bit about their wings. They're pretty strong, and they do a good job of taking advantage of mismatches. And so, you know, for us, it was important that we didn't get into those mismatches, and I thought we did a pretty good job of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done tonight, and go well on Monday. Thanks, Rob. Well, guys, we can take a breath, I think, after that. Some really fair analysis from both coaches there, I think it's fair to say. Vince, we'll go to you first. And we spoke during that second half about Scorchers' offence, seeming a bit stunted at times, you know, not in rhythm, not in flow. And I guess when you've got some scoring players who rely on that, it's then really hard to get going, isn't it?
Yes, it was. I mean, Coach said there, 26 fouls against the Leicester Riders. I'm sure there was a whole bunch against the Surrey Scorchers too, and that breaks the flow. This is the start of the season, and I think these early games have shown that, you know, people are still trying to get used to the situation, and I think it hurt Surrey maybe a little bit more. In the end, when it became a bit more direct in the second half, I think they had a bit more success.
And Trayvon, you called it. Your prediction at half-time was to be within 7, and it was 6 at one point, but Scorchers just couldn't find a way to break that 6-goal point margin, could they?
No, they got a little energy flowing from Evan. Evan Walsh played well to me in my eyes tonight. Knocked down a couple of threes, which helped out, but they just couldn't get over that hump. Once you get to that 5-point hump, that's what we called it when I was in college. If you can get over that hump, you can win the game, but just couldn't get over the hump tonight.
And how is it you go about doing that? Because it sounds so simple, isn't it? And we know it's really not. When you're out there, when you're in the heat of the game, I mean, we spoke about offensively them being a little bit stunted, but Teo had 16 points, 17 points, so he did his job, but what is it that can help get over that hump?
Well, they missed a lot of free throws tonight, too, because they went to the line plenty, but also it's just broken possessions, random things like technical fouls, and then say you get a stop, you get a 3, and then they come down and get an and 1 3. It stops the game. You get a foul call, and they get an extra bucket, so momentum stops, and then it gets swung the other way. So that hump is hard to overcome, but usually it takes a real poised and sound defensive performance to get over that hump.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess we spoke about it, didn't we, in terms of Leicester being such a classy side. When they do play well, they weren't even at their best tonight, and yet they still put out a good performance, and they really did find a way to ride out the pressure and just so consistent with their scoring.
Well, that's right, and we were talking about that on the sidelines, and that's one of the things you always know Coach Paternostro's teams for. But don't forget also, they also coped with the loss of Gino Crandell to the 5th foul, you know, and also Alistair Fraser picking up 4 fouls.
Yeah, we all forgot about that.
Yeah. You know, the thing is, they were able to, you know, work out whatever the situation was. They stayed consistent with what they were trying to do. And I think the thing with the Scorchers was they couldn't maybe get 2 or 3 scores in a row. Or kills, as we call them, 3 stops in a row. You know, if you can get 3 stops in a row, it gives you a chance to maybe break that 7, 9, 5-point barrier, and then they might have been in a closer position.
Yeah, I mean, by the end of the game, we was looking at the scoreboard, wasn't we? And there was 4+ players on 14 points or more for Riders, in which case it's so hard to know who to stop because they've got so many guys they can go to.
Well, absolutely, and that's what you look for, and all the BBL teams look for that kind of consistency, because, you know, a team's going to take something away from you. Now, you've got to be able to go somewhere else, and if you can't go somewhere else, then that's when you're stuck.
Absolutely. Well, Vince and Trayvon, thank you so much for joining me this evening and for sharing your insights. All the best for the season, Vince and Trayvon. We wish you absolutely all the best with your continued rehab. And I guess all that's left to say is for you guys, the viewers at home, thank you so much for joining us. And we'll see you next time. Stay safe and good night.